not every ruler meets a glorious end. Power may be seized by strength, but it can be stripped away in a single fleeting moment. One wrong step. One delayed decision. One lapse in vigilance. And the price to pay is not merely defeat. It is life itself. It is often assumed that a lion fails because it is not strong enough. The truth is almost exactly the opposite. The vast majority of a lion's hunts end before the chase even begins. Because the most critical decision is not the charge itself, but whether to charge at all. A herd of African buffalo can consist of anywhere from a few dozen to over 1,000 individuals during the migration season. Every single individual constantly monitors the movements of those around it. Upon detecting danger, they rapidly close the distance and form a single, unified mass. For the lion, this means the prey is no longer a solitary individual. It is a living wall. On the savannah, the line between success and failure is usually drawn long before the hunt truly begins. Therefore, lions spend far more time observing than running. Every hunt is a meticulous calculation. Wind direction. Terrain. Distance. The formation of the herd. And the number of watchful adults standing guard. If even one factor is unfavorable, the lion will typically abandon the effort before expending any energy. Because for an apex predator, an injury is far more lethal than hunger. A crushing blow to the shoulder or a horn piercing through muscle can cripple a lion's ability to hunt for weeks. That is a price nature does not easily forgive. But the opposing side is making its own calculated decisions. The African buffalo is not a prey that merely knows how to flee. When they possess the advantage of numbers, the entire herd can actively turn around to confront the threat. The adults stand shoulder to shoulder as a living barricade, shielding the vulnerable calves deep inside. In that moment, the lion no longer faces an individual. But the overwhelming might of the entire herd. For the buffalo, unity is not merely a defense. It is a weapon. Lions cannot sustain a high-speed pursuit for very long. They must quickly identify a weaker individual or one separated from the herd to capitalize on the fleeting opportunity. But if the buffalo manage to regroup in time, the advantage instantly shifts. For the lion's success does not come solely from raw speed. But from pinpointing the exact fatal weakness in the prey's impenetrable formation, the lion is not the only predator bearing the crushing weight of competition on the savannah. Just a short distance away, an entirely different order exists. Here, power is not merely expressed through teeth and muscle. It leaves a profound imprint on how the very body regulates its genes. The Serengeti spotted hyena. In their world, social status dictates nearly every aspect of life. Spotted hyenas live in highly complex communities, known as clans, governed by a ruthlessly strict hierarchy. Females universally rank higher than males. At the absolute pinnacle stands the alpha female, followed by her cubs and other maternal lineages within the clan. Cubs typically inherit the social rank immediately below their mother, a position secured through her fierce protection, strategic alliances, and how other members are forced to treat them. A higher rank grants priority access to food, fundamentally shaping their health, reproductive success, and ultimate chances of survival. But the influence of this system extends far beyond mere behavior. A groundbreaking study published in 2024 in Communications Biology analyzed cells from 42 wild female hyenas in the Serengeti. Scientists discovered 149 differentially methylated DNA regions between high-ranking and low-ranking individuals. DNA methylation does not alter the underlying genetic sequence, but it heavily regulates the activity levels of specific genes tied to energy metabolism, immune response, and the nervous system. This reveals that social standing does not just influence behavior. It carves a permanent biological signature deep within the body itself. Yet on the unforgiving savannah, maintaining that coveted position still heavily relies on raw power endurance and the grueling daily grind of survival. The hyena's anatomy is forged for supreme stamina, allowing them to traverse vast distances to hunt and relentlessly patrol their territory. Their high-sloping shoulders, immensely muscular necks, and highly specialized jaws allow them to process the dense bone and gristle that most other predators are forced to leave behind. Thanks to their robust dentition and bone-crushing jaw muscles, hyenas can effortlessly shatter thick bones to access the rich vital marrow locked inside. But their most devastating weapon is not found in their jaws. It lies in the collective might of the clan. A solitary hyena must exercise extreme caution around a lion. But when multiple clan members rally together, the balance of power can violently shift. They continuously assess the enemy's numbers, vocalize strategic acoustic signals, and advance in coordinated tactical groups. A sufficiently large clan can exert such overwhelming pressure that even a lion is forced to weigh the value of its kill against the lethal risk of being surrounded. Here, power is never as simple as a mere head count. It depends entirely on unbreakable alliances, established hierarchy, and the tactical brilliance to mobilize the right members at the exact right moment. On the African savannah, life begins with a brutal drop of nearly 6 feet, 1.8 meters. After a gestation period of roughly 15 months, the mother giraffe gives birth standing up. That initial plunge severs the umbilical cord and forcefully triggers the first breath of a new life. But standing up is merely the beginning. Giraffes do not lie down to give birth. On the vast open plains, remaining grounded for too long is an open invitation to mortal danger.
Let's do it.
On the vast open plains, remaining grounded for too long is an open invitation to mortal danger. The calf must quickly find its footing and take its first steps. This is not merely an instinctual milestone. It is a stark necessity, because every passing minute drastically increases the risk of being discovered. A giraffe's heart weighs nearly 11 pounds, 5 kilograms, and generates a blood pressure of roughly 200 to 280 millimeters of mercury, nearly double that of a human. That immense pressure is required to pump blood up to a brain located nearly 6.5 feet, 2 meters above the heart. Despite its famously long neck, a giraffe still possesses only 7 cervical vertebrae, exactly the same number as a human. The astonishing difference is that each individual vertebra can measure up to 10 inches, 25 centimeters long. Its nearly 18-inch, 45-centimeter dark purple tongue allows it to effortlessly strip leaves from thorny acacia trees with minimal injury. But physical prowess alone is never enough to protect a newborn calf. A giraffe's eyes are situated nearly 16 feet, 5 meters above the ground, providing an incredibly sweeping field of vision. Females frequently take turns standing guard when the herd has young calves. Giraffes sleep an average of only about 30 minutes a day, broken into multiple fleeting micro-naps. On the savannah, eternal vigilance is vastly more important than rest. Mother and calf also maintain constant communication through low-frequency vocalizations completely undetectable to the human ear. Yet even that hypervigilance cannot conceal one fatal reality. The lingering scent of the placenta quickly drifts on the wind, a beacon that numerous predators can easily detect. And spotted hyenas are usually the first to arrive on the scene. Contrary to popular myth, they are not mere scavengers. Up to 70% of a spotted hyena's diet comes from active, coordinated hunts. For the newborn calf, its very first hour of life is simultaneously its most vulnerable. But its mother holds her ground. standing as an impenetrable wall between her fragile calf and the encroaching danger. However, the hyenas are just one of many threats. In the distance, lions larger, vastly more powerful, and infinitely more patient apex predators are closing in. With overwhelming strength and flawless pack coordination, they rapidly choke off every possible avenue of escape. This time, the newborn giraffe cannot survive its first brutal trial. And on the savannah, the end of one life instantly becomes the vital fuel for the survival of others. Every giraffe calf that survives to adulthood is the triumph of millions of years of evolution. But today, their future is no longer threatened solely by the merciless trials of nature. Africa currently holds roughly 140,000 giraffes in the wild, with the Maasai giraffe population plummeting to just around 44,000 individuals. Over the past 300 years, they have lost nearly 90% of their historical range due to relentless habitat destruction and the severe fragmentation of their ecological routes. Protecting the giraffe is not just about saving the tallest animal on the planet. It is about preserving the vital grasslands and ecological corridors upon which countless other species absolutely depend. The ocean is not ruled solely by speed or brute strength. There is a colossal creature that almost never needs to rush. It simply glides. The oceanic manta ray. And behind that graceful elegance lies one of the most extraordinary minds in the realm of fishes. While sharks rely on blistering speed and razor-sharp teeth, and sea lions use raw muscle to pivot underwater, the manta ray chooses an entirely different path. Its two gigantic pectoral fins move in slow, sweeping, rhythmic beats, propelling its body through the water with almost zero urgency. They do not flap their wings like birds. Instead, fluid ripples cascade along the edges of their fins, making the manta appear as if it is soaring through the ocean. An underwater ballet that many divers simply call flying. The oceanic manta ray can achieve a wingspan of over 23 feet 7 meters and weigh well over 2 tons. Its broad pectoral fins act as underwater hydrofoils, generating powerful thrust with remarkably low energy expenditure. Positioned at the front of its mouth are two specialized cephalic lobes that can roll up or unfurl, expertly funneling plankton-rich currents directly into its gaping maw. A colossal body. Yet operated by flawlessly precise and highly economical movements. However, the manta ray's most remarkable advantage does not lie in its muscles. It is housed deep within its skull. The manta ray possesses the largest known brain of any fish, boasting a brain-to-body mass ratio that towers above most of its aquatic peers. In mirror experiments, mantas exhibit highly unusual movements and self-directed contingency-checking behaviors that they simply do not perform in the absence of a reflection. This strongly suggests an immensely complex level of self-awareness and cognition. Regardless of the ultimate scientific consensus, their innate curiosity and highly adaptable responses prove that the manta is not merely a giant beast drifting aimlessly with the current. And this profound intelligence is further reflected in how they build their social lives. Year after year, many individuals return to highly specific familiar cleaning stations located on coral reefs. Here, specialized small fish diligently strip away parasites and dead tissue from their skin. But these cleaning stations serve a purpose far beyond mere hygiene. They are bustling social hubs where mantas meet, observe, and deliberately interact with other individuals. Certain individuals return to the exact same spots over the course of many years, demonstrating a formidable geographic memory and a profound long-term attachment to their specific habitat. For the manta ray, the ocean is not merely a feeding ground. It is an intricate living map of memories and social encounters. A vast ocean covering nearly 1/3 of the planet's surface. For over 200 million years, these ancient waters have nurtured the greatest icons of life. And in the heart of that ocean takes place the longest journey of the mammal world. The Great Migration of the grey whales. Each year, these giants, weighing up to 40 tons, leave the freezing Arctic waters, swimming across the length of the Pacific Ocean. a round trip of more than 12,000 miles. One of the harshest journeys ever to exist in nature. But the most extraordinary thing is how the mothers survive. Through months of migration, they eat almost nothing at all. Instead, the mother whale consumes her own body's fat reserves. That energy source is transformed into the most precious thing in the ocean: milk. Grey whale milk contains up to 53% fat, so thick it is almost like liquid cream. This superfuel helps the whale calf gain nearly 40 kilograms every day, faster than the passage of time that we perceive. But the journey of the grey whale species is not always peaceful. In the 19th century, the serene lagoons at Baja California turned into battlefields. Whalers discovered their secret calving grounds, and the massacre began. Facing iron harpoons and giant chains, the mother whales revealed a protective instinct for their young so fierce it was terrifying. They charged straight into the wooden boats, crushing them with 40 tons of muscle and bone. The survivors tremblingly called them by a name full of fear: devilfish. The hunt lasted nearly a century, and it almost wiped this species out of the ocean. But then, a strange thing happened. Today, at the very lagoons once stained with their ancestors' blood, the grey whales actively seek out humans. The mothers gently swim close to the boats. Some even lift their calves out of the water, as if introducing their child to another world. No one truly understands why they do that. This may be one of the most mysterious and moving behaviors ever recorded in nature. The animal once hunted by humans to the brink of extinction now chooses to move toward us. Not with fear, but with trust. That moment of silent communication exists only for a very short time. Right before the whale pods begin the journey back north to the cold and harsh waters of the Pacific. Protecting the grey whale is not just about saving a species. It is a testament that nature can still forgive if humans know how to listen to the ancient heartbeat of the ocean. But even these giants, weighing tens of tons, are not completely safe in the heart of the ocean. Off the Pacific coast, a predatory army is waiting. Killer whales. An adult male can be up to 9 meters long, weigh more than 6 tons, and swim at a speed of nearly 56 kilometers per hour. But their most terrifying strength does not lie in muscle. It lies in intelligence. Orcas possess a brain weighing nearly 7 kilograms, many times larger than a human brain. Orcas possess a brain weighing nearly 7 kilograms, many times larger than a human brain. They hunt in families and pass on tactics through generations like a true culture. A pod of orcas can track a mother whale and her calf for hours on end, waiting for the moment the young one is exhausted. A newborn whale calf weighs nearly 1 ton, but in the ocean, it is still just a child. When the attack begins, the sea surface immediately turns into a battlefield. The orcas rush in from every direction. They try to separate the calf from the mother. The mother whale resists desperately. She tries to use her giant body to shield her child. But the orca pod does not give up easily. They take turns attacking. Tirelessly. Scientists have recorded hunts lasting more than 5 hours. A brutal test of endurance between maternal love. And the perfect hunting art of the ocean. Sometimes, the mother whale wins. She manages to bring her child into safe, shallow waters. But magic does not always happen. Many whale calves never complete the first migration of their lives. It is estimated that in some migration areas, nearly 1/3 of whale calves cannot survive past their first year. And it is their death that in turn feeds the entire ocean. The carcass of a whale sinking to the deep seabed can nourish hundreds of species for many decades. In the natural world, death is not the end. It is the continuation of life. But the Pacific is not just a place of migrations and hunts. The Sea of Cortez, a 700-mile-long corridor. It is not quiet here. At the bottom of the abyss, Freezing ocean currents carrying millions of tons of minerals surge to the surface. The physical disturbance creates a biological explosion, clouds of plankton stretching as far as the eye can see. And to harvest this massive energy source, the ocean needs a metabolic engine. Sardines, only the size of a human hand. But when gathered into millions of individuals, they are no longer single fish. They are the foundation of the entire Sea of Cortez ecosystem, a superfood sustaining the heartbeat of the whole ocean. How can millions of individuals move without ever colliding? The secret lies in the lateral line, a network of pressure sensors running along the body. They can read the change in water flow from the one next to them in just 1,000th of a second. Faster than any telecommunications network humans have ever built. But the signal they just received does not come from their own kind. Striped marlin, 10 feet long, weighing 400 pounds, a killing machine with specifications that surpass all limits. They tear through the ocean at a speed of 50 miles per hour. The ferocity beneath the ocean acts like an alarm clock for predators. California sea lions join the battle. They do not have the absolute speed of the marlin, but they possess the flexibility of a mammal. Neck joints and webbed flippers allow them to make sharp turns even in narrow spaces. The water surface is no longer a safe border. From a height of 100 feet, northern gannets drop themselves in a free fall. They fold their wings, locking their bodies into a bullet shape and plunging into the water at a speed of 60 miles per hour. The hunt has now become a fierce battlefield. When driven into a corner, the sardine school activates the final survival protocol. They fuse together, creating a bait ball. Near absolute synchronization causes light to reflect in every direction, confusing the predator's ability to identify a target. It is not just the struggle of instinct, but a ruthless and magnificent geometric masterpiece, forged from the very depths of extreme fear. The feast ends. Silver scales slowly sink to the ocean floor like ashes after a battle. And then the sea surface becomes quiet again, as if no war had ever occurred. the intersection between land and ocean. A shallow body of water enclosed by jagged rocks and ruthless currents. For most creatures, this is a death trap. But for the California sea lion, this is an impregnable fortress. But for the California sea lion, this is an impregnable fortress. Their survival weapons begin with a flexible musculoskeletal system. Elongated flippers allow them to support their entire body weight to walk on land. But when plunging into the water, they immediately transform into living arrows. They can tear through the ocean at a velocity of 25 miles per hour to snatch up prey. However, their true power lies in the ability to bend biological laws. To hunt schools of squid hiding in the darkness, they dive straight into the abyss. Water pressure skyrockets. Instead of resisting, the sea lion automatically collapses its two lungs. The heart rate drops to a minimum to conserve oxygen. This perfect mechanism allows them to stop breathing for 15 consecutive minutes, reaching depths of 900 feet, where sunlight never reaches. In the deep sea, they move with near-perfect grace. But when the breeding season begins on the coastal rocks, the instinct for dominance also awakens. Giant males 7 feet long, carrying a muscle mass of up to 800 pounds. They charge at each other to compete for the only thing of value, the right to dominate. The reward for the strongest is a harem of more than 20 females. But the price of power is a ruthless physical exhaustion. To keep the throne, the new king cannot leave to hunt for food. It must fast completely. Its body burns the fat reserves under the skin for energy, using the last gasps of strength to constantly patrol and roar to protect the territory. A harsh struggle of attrition that causes most rulers to collapse and be overthrown after only a few weeks. The California Sea Lion Society is a vast and incredibly noisy network. At the gathering sites, this population can swell up to 1,500 individuals, lying tightly packed together without a single gap. Amidst that giant crowd, the pups emerge glowing with energy. They somersault, chase, and frolic with each other in the shallow water. Everything looks like a playful game, but in reality, it is a silent school. They are training the necessary muscular reflexes, preparing for the day they step out to face the fierce ocean. October, the waters off the coast of Guadalupe Island, Mexico. This deep blue water is hiding a mysterious meeting point of the ocean. The males appear first, carrying a formidable appearance, but they quickly become small when the true queens reveal themselves. Female great white sharks, length reaching 20 feet, body mass reaching 7,000 pounds. For easy visualization, this biological machine weighs as much as a medium armored vehicle. They glide invisibly through the currents like living fortresses, carrying a silent power that dominates every gaze. The existence of this creature is a testament to a great evolutionary legacy spanning 450 million years. The devastating serrated jaws are only the final step of the hunt. Their true ultimate weapon lies hidden beneath these tiny paws, the ampullae of Lorenzini. This biological radar system surpasses all common physical barriers. When sight and smell are useless, they can still detect tiny magnetic fields emitted from the very faint heartbeat of a terrified prey hiding in the darkness. No creature can truly be invisible before this ancient positioning machine. As the convergence cycle closes, these ghosts move toward the east. The next target, sea lions. This is a fierce survival math problem. Sea lions are extremely flexible and crafty creatures. Facing the sharp turns of the prey, the great white cannot hunt in a conventional way. They are forced to activate an absolute physical tactic, waiting beneath the abyss to blend into the darkness, then using all 7,000 pounds of muscle to create a vertical acceleration with precision down to the millisecond. It is the arena where the ancient killing machine must continuously prove its perfection against the agile challenges of the new era. And yet these rulers of the ocean become useless before a nylon wall and steel hooks. A masterpiece of the evolutionary process. A machine that has defeated every catastrophe of Earth for 450 million years, now collapses and is completely helpless before the primitive tools of a single species, humans. Each year, up to 100 million sharks are slaughtered. Not by the laws of survival. They are butchered merely to serve sporting pleasures, baseless folk remedies, and the cosmetic industry. The ocean is not losing a killer. It is losing its greatest surgeon. And when the last balancer falls, the food chain of the entire blue planet will collapse with it. Southern Japan Beach, an ancient entity has just left the ocean. It is a female sea turtle, a reptile that has been swimming across this planet since the era of the dinosaurs. After 40 years wandering far offshore, it performs the unthinkable, returning to the exact coordinates of the sandy beach where it was once born. Using its hind legs like spoons, it patiently digs deep into the warm sand, entrusting hope for a next generation before silently vanishing into the open sea. The weapon of the turtle species does not lie in fangs or claws. The weapon of the turtle species does not lie in fangs or claws. Their strength lies in a superhuman biological positioning system hidden deep within a tiny brain. The ability to remember the magnetic field of the homeland for decades, reaching an accuracy equivalent to the most advanced GPS systems of humanity. For a living being weighing less than 1 ounce, the front flippers are the only engine. They have no time to learn. The only instinct driving them is a life and death race toward the light. The distance from the nest to the water's edge is a mere 100 feet. But for a body that is slow on land, these 30 meters are a desert full of death. The law of the ocean is established with a brutal ratio. For every 1,000 individuals that hatch, only a single one survives to reach adulthood. And currently, a new variable is appearing, far beyond the control of instinct: the rising temperature of the Earth's crust. The extraordinary effort of these tiny beings is a symbol of an undying hope. And yet, their survival equation is being threatened by a physical reality. The gender of a turtle is determined by the temperature of the sand. If the temperature rises by just a few degrees, an entire population will lose the ability to maintain gender balance. It is a silent tragedy, a place where millions of years of instinct are no longer enough to protect the future before a world that is changing all too rapidly. The ocean is not a stage. It is a closed thermodynamic and biological operating system. Every individual existing within it is a gear with a precisely programmed function. Sardines are low-level energy conversion stations. Sea lions shape mechanical limits. Sea turtles are magnetic mapping tools. And the great white shark operates as a core control device, maintaining the stability of the entire structure. For 450 million years, This system has continuously self-corrected and re-established itself after every geological event. But currently, this machine is being pushed beyond its design limits. Human-made variables do not follow any evolutionary laws. Industrial steel nets and polymers break the top-tier control system by removing 100 million sharks each year. Just a small increase in surface thermal amplitude. The millions of years old reproductive source code of the turtle species is completely erased. The approach of the grey whale may be an adaptive mechanism beyond the threshold. But a biological forgiveness cannot reverse the laws of physics. The ocean is running out of capacity to balance itself. Nature has no hatred. Even less so, it has no mercy. It only operates based on cause and effect. Dismantling the links of the ocean will lead to a chain reaction that cannot be stopped. When this giant biological machine stops functioning, the ocean will not disappear. It will only establish a new order. An order that contains absolutely no survival data for the human race.